We have Tennessee and Florida getting together. I don't care what the records may be. I don't care the year. This is always a very interesting game. Tennessee goes into this game as a 4.5-point favorite. This is the day before the game. Of course, it kicks off 7:30 Saturday on ABC. This is one of the historical rivalries in all of college football. And here's the deal. I don't care if Tennessee comes in as a team that's won several ball games and Florida's terrible. Florida always gives them a run for their money. And okay, that's an understatement. Florida beats them the majority of the time. So this is a really big deal to see if Tennessee, a team who they have not had a terrible season, but they're 7-3, 3-3 in the SEC. If they can stay focused against a Florida team who had to fire their coach, who's 3-7, 2-5 in the SEC, and there's more focus on who will be their head coach, Lane Kiffin maybe. Sorry, Vols. Then this season, everyone wants to forget about this season. Everyone wants to forget about last season. And they'd be more than happy to do so if they could just get to next season. It's a very interesting turn of events for the Florida Gators. Now, all right, with all that said, here I am. I've said what I've said, probably ruffled some feathers already. Let's talk about the game. Now, when we start off with the Florida Gators, we have to talk just vast injuries. They have so many flipping injuries, it's a joke. Like, to be a Florida Gator, they've had a lot of injuries. Like, I'm literally looking at a laundry list of injuries. A ton of injuries. Out. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 players that are out for this game. Some's undisclosed, some's questionable, some's out, with a leg injury. You go over to the Tennessee side and you see some names that has been, Jermon McCoy hadn't played the first down. This guy has been, he was hyped up in the preseason, and rightfully so. But here's the problem. The young man has not hit the field because of injury. It's sad because I believe the guy would have went in the first round this year. And, that's that. Another name that's really interesting to look at with Tennessee is Kitselman. Kitselman is out for an undisclosed reason. This guy is a leader. This is one of those guys, he walks out there and the team looks at him and sees a bona fide leader on the field. He's out. All right, let's go to the quarterbacks. DJ Lagway in the preseason was touted as a potential Heisman Trophy winner. He came in last year and led the team and ended up saving Billy Napier's job, giving him yet a chance at coaching yet again for the Gators, another season. And, of course, we know what happened there. But DJ Lagway has had a very poor season. We're talking about more interceptions than touchdowns, 12 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. He hasn't even hit 2,000 yards yet passing. People have been calling. There's a lot of people who's wondering if he's going to transfer out. I don't know. Let's look at Joey Aguilar. Totally different situation. This guy, we all know he has this story about basically about to quit football or did quit football. Can't remember the story, but anyway, he ended up playing at a small school. Then he ended up at Appalachian State. I actually saw him play in person. Now he's in Tennessee. He's had a solid year, almost 3,000 yards, 22 touchdowns. He has thrown 10 interceptions. Okay. With that said, the Tennessee Volunteers has a very interesting chance to win the next 2 ball games, salvage somewhat of a season, get to a bowl game, and win 10 ball games. All right. Who is the other opponent other than Florida? Well, it's Vanderbilt. And that game will be in Knoxville. Vanderbilt right now has a better record than Tennessee. Don't tell the Vols that. But Tennessee fans, and I've talked about, I know one very personally who went to Tennessee, and they're underwhelmed by what's happening. and a lot of questions about their defense, their defensive strategy, and if this will be a championship level defensive scheme. And maybe that is the Achilles heel of Josh Heupel, that will be what keeps Josh Heupel from being the success that he could be, is his defense. That even when you have the dogs, even when you have a lot of good players, even when you have them in, their defense is just, it's not what it should be. Let's talk about the rivalry. Florida has dominated for so many years that Tennessee is sick and tired of hearing about it. But I started off by saying this. It's just a fact. Florida can be bad and Tennessee can be good. And guess what? Florida will beat them, or Florida will almost beat them. So what is the key to this game? We could talk about injuries. We could talk about how the season didn't go the way that Florida wanted it to go. Definitely, a lot of us seen this coming. We're shocked that it didn't happen last year. They had one of the toughest schedules in all of college football, so we're not really shocked there. Tennessee, on the other hand, they haven't had a terrible season. But when you step back and you look that they lost to Georgia only by 3 points, and you're like, how did that happen? You led in that game. You were at home. You had a chance to offer the dogs a loss. Guess what? You didn't. That was tough. You go on a win streak, and then you play Alabama. Alabama beat the crap out of them. I mean, that's the easiest way I can say it. And then when Oklahoma beat them by 6 points, and it was at Neyland Stadium, unfortunately, that put the pin in the balloon of their season. All right, there's no college football playoff. It's out. It's out the door. My question is, does Tennessee care right now? Do they really care at this point? I'm just asking for a friend here. Does Tennessee actually care about the rest of this season? I mean, we live in a time where players can now be focused on if they're hitting the transfer portal or not. And that's the question, do they care? Or are they already checked out? Are their agents already reaching out to other schools going, hey, how much can you get me here? Tennessee, we're not really focused here on what's going on anymore. We're kind of out of the conversation when it comes to the college football playoff. And transparently, we don't care if we're playing Florida. We don't care if it's a historical rivalry. That's the question for me with Tennessee. Do you care? Do the players care, or has this whole college football transition of NIL, has it affected you so much that you just don't care? You could turn around and ask the same about Florida. You have no coach. Another guy who is a coach in the college ranks right now, he's more talked about with your program than your program is talked about based on its merit. Tennessee has a little bit to play for. Florida has nothing to play for. Maybe that's the difference. Maybe we're all looking at Tennessee going, hey, guys, you didn't wet the bed. You're not Florida. You're not Clemson. You're not LSU, who had to fire their coach. You're not Penn State, who returned like Clemson, one of the most experienced rosters in all of college football. And what did they do with it? Nothing. You're not either one of these schools. Maybe you have something to play for. I would think so. All right, let's get to this. I believe Tennessee is going to win this ball game. Florida has too many injuries that have too much inconsistency across the board. And as I said, the main story in Florida right now is who will be their next head coach. That's one. I want to tell you, Tennessee fans, that I make this prediction with a lot of hesitation. I look at Tennessee and I ask myself this question. are you getting weary of being this close now? Like you were thankful to not be terrible anymore. But Heupel's defense is not working. And that has been the Achilles heel for your team. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I do know what I'm talking about. I'm paying attention. I am paying attention. I'm talking to people who eat, sleep, breathe Tennessee football. And if anyone's not being a Sunshine fan, you know your defense is what's costing you. Your offense can score. Your offense can play. I mean, good grief. Josh Heupel is fielding a different quarterback every year and doing a pretty doggone good job. The question is, can your team stop someone? Can your defense come out and make the stops that you need? And the answer is no. So I say that I make this prediction with a deep hesitation. So I'm going to say this to Florida fans. I'm picking Tennessee. But I believe you stand a chance in this game. Tennessee, I'm picking you, but I believe you could absolutely blow it. I believe you could absolutely go into this game and go, you know what? Even when we're bad, we're better than them. Or not bad. Even though we did not fulfill our particular goal for this season, we're better than these bunch of losers across from us. And Florida comes in and beats you. Everything is in Tennessee's favor except for playing at Florida. We will see how this goes. I picked the Tennessee Volunteers to win this game. Folks, tell me in the comment section, am I right? Am I wrong? Should I have my head examined? I probably should either way. I'll drop that in the comment section. I hope you'll pass this along to all your friends, neighbors, Florida fans, Tennessee fans, and let them know that I'm talking about them. Hope you'll subscribe. It is free. I do appreciate it. Well, folks, y'all take care of yourself. College football is starting to come to a close. We'll see how this ends for both